Yo, it's Brian, the Pittsburgh comic expert, also known as PGH Comic Expert. This is an official contest entry into Kyle Rowe's, I think it's Rowe, could be Rowe. I knew people with the last name spelling like that, and they went by Rowe, so sorry if I mispronounced it, but into Kyle R's contest as well as Tom Ryan. So let's start with Kyle. His contest rules were you had to talk about your favorite Batman appearance outside of the Batman title, as well as what Pokemon would you take with you if you were in a zombie apocalypse, and the last one is song lyrics, some of your favorite song lyrics. Like I first of all, for songs, there's just too many that I like. So I just picked out a couple of my albums that usually stay on rotation in the car whenever we're going on trips and things like that. So let's get started. The comic that I picked for my favorite Batman appearance outside of Batman was Swamp Thing number 7. This is Swamp Thing, I think it's volume 2. No, you know what? This is actually volume 1. I think once it gets to issue number 11 or 12, they change it to volume 2. Excuse me. And as you can see, this is Bernie Wrightson artwork, and you got Batman in the corner there. I think that was pretty cool. I read this one after I bought it, and my video, my rules here. This is actually in pretty nice shape, but basically, Swamp Thing doesn't talk. And you could see Batman getting pissed, and got the bat signal, and then there is a fight with him and Swamp Thing. Hold on, screeching halt for the video here. Yeah, he does finally discover the Swamp Thing, and Swamp Thing can't talk, which, that's weird because he talks in the movie, but as you can see, Batman and Swamp Thing, they're working out their differences. But the one thing about Swamp Thing is he's like immortal, so you can kind of beat on him all you want, and that specific run, like issues 1 to 10, that was the Bernie Wrightson and Len Wein run of Swamp Thing. So those, I'm missing a few, but I did get I do have the first issue, a couple copies of that, but somebody wants to trade me for one. And second issue, it's like first full Anton Arcane, first full Patchwork Man. So I mean, there's lots of good stuff in those early Swamp Things from the 70s. So I highly recommend the series just in general, as well as this issue with Batman. I think this is actually considered a key. I think this is the first time Batman ever appeared outside of one of his titles, whether it be Detective Comics or the Batman title. You guys might want to check me on that one. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to keep track of these little minor keys. I mean, I know this is a pretty popular issue, especially if you go on eBay and look for it. I still have a price tag on the back of mine. I got lucky. I found this down at Ides in Pittsburgh, in downtown Pittsburgh, for $15. They graded it as a fine. And the cool thing about Ides is if you see these gold price tags or these neon yellow, excuse me, price tags, they haven't changed the price yet. So they usually mark it up when they start finding those price tags. So anyway, so song lyrics, I have to say some of the favorite lyrics that I ever heard written were some Black Sabbath. That's the Symptom of the Universe box set. I have to say some of my favorite Sabbath songs would be like Nativity in Black, The Wizard, Supernaut, Iron Man, of course, Sweet Leaf, Children of the Grave, After Forever. I mean, there's just so many on this specific album. Other one, I mean, I can't really talk about good songwriting unless I bring up Queen. This is a great album. This is a great box set here. That's Greatest Hits 1, 2, and 3. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of like 80s Queen, with the exception of a handful of songs, but it has all the good ones on here, especially disc 1. So, yeah, there we go as far as my song lyrics go. It's hard to not talk about Freddie Mercury when you're talking about lyrics. And the last thing Kyle wanted was the Pokemon. I don't watch Pokemon. That was a little before my time, or after my time. I had a cousin who was into it, and the only one I recall from that was Pikachu. So Pikachu seemed to be always the most coveted one. He was the one that followed whoever the hell that kid was. I don't even know his name. Followed him around all the time, and it seemed like he would get pissed off and just electrocute everybody. I don't think he floats, so I don't really think any zombies are going to be able to get him. So I wouldn't be worried about him getting bitten by a zombie. Let's just say. So I would trust that he would just he would electrocute all the zombies and pop their heads off. All right. So that's my entry into Kyle's contest. Second contest was Tom Ryan, and I believe the only rules for that, besides being to like the video and be a subscriber, was which, by the way, Tom, congratulations on 1,000 subscribers. That's amazing. I just started this about earlier this year, so I can only, or actually late last year, so I can only hope to get up to 1,000. So let's talk about some comic regrets. So now, since I have the Swamp Thing up, and here's a copy of my copy of number 1 that's actually being traded. Buying regrets, I've got a lot of those. The one buying regret I had is I had a chance to buy the entire run of Swamp Thing in pretty decent grade, like mid grade, issues 1 to 20 something or whatever, at New Dimensions Comics. The first time I ever went in, and it was like $90, and I let it go, and I should have bought it. That's one of the ones I should have bought, because it was, like I said, the first 10 Swamp Things alone are great. And even though Alan Moore's Swamp Thing is really good, and I enjoy that title a lot, my personal favorite is the Len Wein stuff with the Bernie Wrightson artwork, because I just don't think you could have captured the macabre enough back then. So that's just a buying regret. I've got some other ones too. Buying regrets, like so my video cut off because my iPad is stupid. I was sitting there on a tangent for a while. So continuing on to Tom Ryan's contest entry was comic regrets. So I talked about the purchasing regret, where I had a chance to buy all these Swamp Things and I didn't, for a pretty good price, because they average about $30-40 a book, so in great condition. The second one is stopping collecting comics in general. So as I said while I wasn't being recorded, is my old man was worried that I wasn't going to really win any popularity contests or pick up any girls or anything in high school, so he just was telling me that I needed to stop getting into the nerdy things like comic books and everything else. Those are childish things, and I should leave them behind like he did and go play sports like he did. I can't fault him for that. I mean, he's just, my dad. He's just trying to make sure that his son isn't left out, and I get it. And I don't hold any regret for him, but eventually I decided to not listen to him and go my own route in certain things. So, but I stopped collecting comics for a good, I don't know, while. It was 94 is when I stopped, and I didn't start again until 2011, 2012, right after the New 52 kicked off. So, a little disappointing. And I missed out on a lot. I would have totally gravitated towards Walking Dead whenever it was brand new, had I been collecting this entire time. But and then when I got back into it, I decided to finish the runs that I stopped collecting in the 90s, and just only to find out whenever I spent all the time and money hunting for all these books that they were worthless. So I ended up selling it all, and I just thought it was a big waste of time. So yeah, I still have a box of books. I mean, I've got 2 boxes of books that I regret buying, which is why I'm trying to sell them. and one of them I'm actually using as my I have my iPad sitting on it now. So anyway, those are my comic regrets, Tom Ryan. Congratulations on your 1,000 subscribers once again. That's an awesome feat. I can only hope to get there soon, maybe in the next year or two. And Kyle, that was my contest entry for you. So awesome, guys. I'll keep watching, and peace. Looking forward to comments. Thanks.